Nice. So the dump gods have once again showed me favor and granted me these on Lego games. I was legitimately excited to play these because Lego games have lost something. The certain charm they once had is gone, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a 30-year-old man. I'm saying that because Lego games now are radically different from how they used to be from 1995 to 2005. Lego games nowadays are fine, and I can see why they continue to be popular. They are easy to pick up and play platformers that children can enjoy with their children friends. And adults can enjoy the collection aspects of them and that whole unlocking all the characters thing. They aren't Lego games, they are games starring Lego characters and they have a Lego aesthetic. But that was not always the case. Before Traveler's Tale, the developer of the modern era of Lego games struck gold with the modern era of Lego games. Lego games were developed by a Lego studio, and they took what Lego was, a playset that promoted creativity, and took that and used the digital space to amplify that creativity and do things that couldn't be done in the real world. The Lego Island games had you step into the shoes of a Lego pizza delivery person and explore an open world Lego world, and chase down a bad guy and complete quests along the way, etc. And as a wee one, it was a downright magical experience to step into the blocky world of Lego and become one of the inhabitants and see things from their perspective. Something that you up until that point could only literally imagine because, you know, that's how Legos work. And the game took that imagination aspect and turned your imagination into something real. And the same with Lego Racers. It took the whole thing where you made a race car and pretended to race around your room, and it gamified it. It kept the race car and the racer building aspects, and then it gamified the actual play and turned that into a kart racer, where you use classic Lego weapons like the wizard wand cannon and grappling hook as power-ups, and it was fucking great. Not only that, but it features several modes of play and several Grand Prix. And kind of like how Mario Kart uses different Nintendo properties to theme its courses around, so did Lego Racers, but with the different eras of Lego. There was medieval, sci-fi, pirate, and the base set. Basically all the eras of Lego that had existed up until that point. This was, after all, before they got in a bit of financial trouble and started licensing other properties to create sets from. And speaking of sets, in the bundle is the Legoland Game, which I assume is a theme park builder for kids, and that sounds really great. And there's also Lego Creator Kingdoms in here, which is literally just a digital playset. I played an ass ton with the Lego Creator Harry Potter game, which let the player explore Hogwarts and put Lego versions of the movies and books as character into the world and add objects and builds, and also find secret areas and Easter eggs, etc. I was so excited to play a couple of these games that I had mostly forgotten about, as you can see in this clip. Hello! As you can see, I found some cool ass video games at the dump again on, you know, just an ordinary day. I really like finding games that I get for free. I don't know, there's something about it, man. It's like finding fucking treasure. Because it is treasure to me. Yeah, it's fun. And it's, you know, it's kind of special because these are some Lego games. Some of these I played as a child, and I really like them. And now you're probably asking, why is that? Why are we not just playing the good old ass Lego games? Well, because the old ass Lego games don't work on modern computers. They're broken. Not physically, mind you, but the software is broken. Windows 10 supports most games I throw at it, including things that are older than these, but they were made by a small company for a small market, and something went wrong with the coding here. Don't know why it's not running. I'm really rusty on how technology works. Like, so fucking rusty, you have no idea. I'm so bad. I don't remember anything. I have 2 computers, 2 desktops, I have two desktops out in the workshop, and I tore them apart. Now I can't remember how to put them back together. What the fuck is going on with this disk drive? That is so weird. Oh, no, it is. Lego Racers 1 says I'm not in the correct region, even though the game is in Danish, I'm Danish, my computer is Danish, the drive is set to play Danish media, and we're in Denmark. What the penis? This is empty. It's obviously not empty. What the shit? Look! Choose installation. What? Lego Racers 2 won't install because it can't find DirectX 7, which makes sense because it's not 1998 anymore. Not the right... I was not in... Lego Island 1 and Lego Island 2 are telling me that there isn't enough memory to run them, which there definitely is, because, you know, it's still not 1998 anymore. What if it's America? It's probably something dumb like that. Now we're in the US. Hell yeah, baby. No, not quite in the US yet. Legoland just won't install without any explanation, and that's the same case with Stunt Rally and Creator Kingdom. Now it won't do anything again. No, now it's just stuck. And I'm mad. These games are broken. They don't work unless I guess you boot up an old Windows XP computer, but I don't have one of those, and neither does most of the population. And it's a big deal that they are broken. They are special and unique. And they don't make them like this anymore. Like, there aren't games like these games. Not really. They stopped trying. And these low-print physical versions here, yeah, these are the only way that you can play this game. This entire genre is gone because these things, they don't work on 99.5% of personal computers that people own. And they aren't available online either, having been lost to the annals of time. I suspect because of a partial ownership license agreement between Lego and the developer/publisher. And it's fucking tragic. These games are timeless and they need to be available for the masses. It can't be fucking true that the only way to play Lego Racers is by hunting down the Nintendo 64 version or the PS2 version for the sequel. License holders have an obligation to their fans and their customers to keep these things working. We bought them with money we gave them, and they didn't come with an expiration date. And they should, and in some countries are, obligate us to provide us with a functional product or the tools to make them functional again. Until then, they are just memories and they are fading. Lego, you either need to make these titles available for modern systems or provide us with a workaround, or you need to provide us with the source code. They are part of your legacy and your history, and they are part of my history and everyone else that played them's history. And we are entitled to re-experience these games and maybe one day introduce new tiny humans to them so that they can experience them as well. Please fix them. Until next time, bye bye.